Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss linting for PEP8. In the previous video, we have discussed coding conventions and guidelines in Python. And if you have observed, there are a lot of coding conventions and guidelines to keep in mind when we are working. Luckily, most of PEP8 can be statically controlled with using the linting tools such as PEP8, PyCode style, or PyLint. So what is a linter? A linter is a tool that analyzes code for both programmatic and style errors, and it will report error to us and even support on how we can fix those errors. Exactly how this linter works is dependent on both the linter and the language. So the PyLint is a popular linter tool in Python community. It is a simpler tool that is not designed to find every piece of code that might hide a bug. Instead, it focuses on making sure that the code follows PEP8 and the code is more readable. And this is the command to run PyLint. So here, what I did, I have an example, the function, and then a little bit more code here. So what I did, this code I have saved in PyLint example.py. So let's run PyLint on this in order to see if my code follows PEP8 guidelines or not. So what I do, I just copy this one and I can just open my terminal here and run. So here you see here from here, these all are the error errors that we get. So I copied the same thing in the lecture platform here, so we can discuss here. So this here. So here we can this is the output from PyLint. So we can divide this into 3 sections for a little bit more understanding what they are means. So the first one, a number of asterisks followed by the module name. That is what this is here, this one. And then the second here, 0 or more errors, informing about errors in the module presented. So these all are here. And then how it presented with the path line, which is this one here, the path, and then the line, and then the column here, and message ID, message, and then the symbol. And then in the end, we have the third section we have here in the end, which is the score, linter score for the code. So we get -1 out of 10, which is very bad. So I have some more explanation here. So what the path means, and this line here, what this means. So path means the name of the module or a file, and the line is where the error occurred, and the column is the number of characters before the error is encountered, and message is the descriptive text, and the symbol is symbolic name of the message. So what we can do now, we can fix the errors, and so that we can eliminate or we can get a little bit better score for our code. So first error here, so blacklister name foo. So for this, what we can do, we can rename our function name from foo to more appropriate to the, that describes the function, what function does. So for that, I have renamed my function with the find first element below threshold. And then the second error, or 2 more errors, argument name A and also B here doesn't conform any naming styles here. So here, what we can do, we can rename the arguments to more appropriate container or threshold. And let's check the next error. Also the solution. So PyLint missing function docstrings, because our function doesn't have, our example code doesn't have any docstrings. So what I did, we can add docstring here for the code. And then the next one is similar like before, variable name C doesn't have any style. So for that also the solution, we can rename the variable with more appropriate names. And then the problem 5 here, either all return statements in a function should return an expression or none of them should. So a little bit more elaboration on this error. So in Python, a function will return none if nothing else is specified. This includes if a call reaches the end of a function with other branches leading to a proper return. In our example, none is what we need to, what should be returned. So for clarity, this should be specified. So the solution to this error is we can add a new line that contains the code return none. So let's see before and after for the function here. So we have changed the name with the more appropriate ones, and also the variable names also a little bit more appropriated ones that needed for the function. I mean what it does. Here also we have added the return none, the last line. So what we can do now, again, we can run the pylint and see what is happening with the modified code, how our linting score will look like. Okay, so your code has been rated 6.36, which is better than -1. So, but still we have errors because we have only corrected half of the code. But I hope you understand how this pylint helps us to give information on errors and then how we can fix them. Yeah, so the same one that I have the error message here. So there are also some limitations with the pylint. So for bigger projects, it can be slow to analyze the code, and also it might crash while printing messages if there are too many of them. And also it is very pedantic, and there are ways to disable specific checks. It can be also slow at changing controls to adapt to changes in PEP8. It is, however, one of the most used and powerful linters available in Python. So if you want to have more information about Pylint, you can go to this website, realpython.com. They have really good explanations for Pylint. Yeah, thank you very much.